Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! Yes. In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode...
Way, look at that. I remember to put the intro in on this episode. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm joined in a virtual room filled with some lions. Some. You'll find out who those are. We've got Ollie. That's a win. We've got Berth. That's another win. Maybe it was just there was so much positivity. Chris just ducked out today. Maybe that's what he did.
Couldn't handle it. Too many good vibes.
Too many good vibes.
To be fair as well.
Enzo scored.
It is Christmas as well, so this is the worst time of year for Chris as well.
No, he's just busy.
Go back to last year's around this time of the year with Christmas. They're gold episodes where we just ask Chris about Christmas. It's good, honestly. And some listeners have only joined this year, so honestly, just do it. You know what? I'm kicking off. I'm kicking off with something slightly new and meaningful.
Ooh.
Yeah, from our partners, which we all announced on Friday over at Head in the Game. With their starting 11 check-in. That's kind of what I've done with it. I've put check-in, where every now and then we'll just have a little check-in with each other and see how we're doing, giving ourselves a score of 1, which is crisis point, so very bad, all the way up to 11, which is winning, which is we hope to always be winning. We're not always, but we'd like to always be 11. I'm going to go first. No pressure on anyone to actually go first, but I'll go first and just say I'm about a 6. I'm about a 6, which is on the chart of it's okay. Because, you know, everyone knows I love this time of year. I do love Christmas. But it also, unfortunately for me, it does hit home a bit how much I miss my nan, you know, because obviously she passed away last year. So, yeah, it's a mixed feeling. But, you know, I've got an amazing team on this show. I've got some amazing people in my life to, you know, keep me going, keep me positive. So I appreciate it. But how are we all feeling today, team? How do we feel?
I'll go next. I've had a rough week, you know. It's been kind of tough. Been going through some stuff lately, so I'm sitting at a solid 4. Could be worse. Could certainly be worse. Could be a lot worse. But not doing as great as I usually am. And do you know what? Sometimes it feels nice to actually say that. Sometimes, you know, it's nice to actually talk about how you feel. Sometimes in a zone like this where there's no judgment, nothing like that. You know. No pressure to have everything fixed or have everything sorted out, you know, but it's just nice to be heard. And, you know, like, it's so hard for us blokes sometimes to talk about this sort of thing. So I really like this starting 11 thing, because all you have to do is just give a number. That's all you do.
Yeah, that's literally, you know, we won't always do it every single episode, but I thought because we've partnered with them and it's just such a great reason and great cause. And I do stress this. We do have the Discord channel, which we have human support, and that is serious talk. No one's going to mock nothing, and people have used it, and I'm so proud of that. That's the one thing of Discord I'm so proud of. It's been used positively, and that means
put your
everything.
own head in the games in there if you
exactly.
If you want to, you don't have to.
Exactly. Berth, how are you doing? My man?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've said it a fair few times this show that I've sort of had mental health problems in the past. Obviously, the last one I'm not, I think almost 7 years ago now, which is crazy. So, Mikey, I feel that this time of the year is always hard, and especially when it's like the first couple of years, it's really hard after losing someone. And yeah, you know what? I'm actually pretty good. I'm in a good headspace right now. You know, work's really good. I started a new job not too long ago, and I've got a great support around me. Obviously, I'm not always on the show, but I appreciate you boys and I love you boys. So I'm gonna give myself a solid 8.
Ooh,
yeah, I
that's
think
good.
That's good.
That's really nice to hear, mate.
Yeah,
really
that's good. Yeah.
But what I will say as well is, like, you know, we're all here to chat to each other. You know, we don't just talk about football. We're all here for each other.
Exactly.
And, you know, you boys or anyone else needs to chat, then
exactly.
all our inboxes are open.
Yeah, I've always said it. Our DMs are open. You're more than welcome to it. There's no judgment. We won't even, you know, say it on the show that we've had, you know, whoever's messed. No, it's all private. Happily to do it. So we've got moments of the weekend. I always bring it. No one else does, but I've got faith. I've got faith in two of you because, I don't know what Chris's moment of the weekend was. So I'm hoping you've delivered. I'll go with mine very quick because it's brilliant. It's gold. You may have seen it. I hope you haven't. But Bracknell Town tweeted this weekend that they restarted their game after a spectator from the crowd had come forward and assumed the role of the assistant referee on one of the sidelines. There was only, if you look at the photo, I'm pretty sure that the guy he's 18 maximum. I don't even think he's 18. I think he might be 14, 30. 30 minutes played, and they had a lino from essentially a random member of the crowd. That's proper non-league.
I love that in football. The rare times where that happens, where do you know what? It just it's perfectly like the stars align. No one can make it. So one lucky punter is getting their shots that day.
Imagine that. It's inspiring the next generation of linesmen. Like, I can't wait to be an assistant referee. Oh my word. Ollie, what was yours?
Be like David Coote.
What was your moment of the weekend?
My moment of the weekend, for those of you living in the UK, will know about this, is Storm Dara.
My word! It was windy, weren't it? It was very windy.
Yeah, and where I live in Cardiff, we were hit by huge gale force winds, like massive rain, loads of awful stuff. Got a warning from the government telling us not to go outside. So that's why it was a highlight for me, because I had a reason to have a quiet one.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I battled Saturday night with my conservatory roof because the panel had flipped off. I found it. That's fine. That was all good. But the fact that when you go into the conservatory and you're like, there's water on the floor, and then you look up and there's just a hole where something should be. I was like, oh fuck. Oh, what about you, Berth?
Yeah, so I braved the storm, and I had my Christmas party on Saturday, and it was just a real good time. It's my first Christmas party with the company I'm at now, and real good. I mean, the wind did sort of hamper my hair a little bit because I haven't got much left now, and it almost took it all off, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Oh my word.
And I'm not even joking with that. But the party itself was brilliant. Had a good dance, had a good time, good vibes.
Right.
What's so funny about me dancing, Ollie?
Nothing.
Just imagining it.
Well, at the end of the day, was it a real Christmas party? That's the thing Chris wants to know. Right.
Sorry, can we just go into Chris? Because he's not here. And, it's funny. I can imagine him at a Christmas party. Not dancing at all, and it's the
fully
funniest.
Sat on the side.
Me and Chris are two completely opposite people, but I think that's why me and him get on so much.
Yeah, it's true.
Will make a fool of myself, whereas Chris will just look at me in absolute disgust, and that's why I love him.
Yeah, we do love him.
What are you doing?
Right, before we hit the news, I've got to thank a listener called Chris. He knows who he is because he let me know over the weekend that me hadn't included the intro on our most recent episode. Wasn't a great day for me, was it, that Thursday last week? Botched the Lone Army carousel, then botched the podcast intro. That last video can't go anywhere. It can't. Yeah. Oh, what a day.
The cat who is operating Mikey needs a break.
It's so, I could not believe it when I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I did the intro properly. He looks at it. Oh, no, that's 100% completely wrong. Oh, you know what? I was just about to move, but actually, I've just got an email. We have a chef a shout out. It's all kicking off. So we've got one from Willie Turt via the Apple Pods in the USA.
What? Sorry, what's his name? Sorry,
Willie Turt. Come on.
It's only a matter of time before you get one.
Someone does a naughty one.
Yeah. It's only a matter of time.
So they've put another great CFC pod. Newer fan to this particular pod, but I've been a diehard Chelsea fan since 2016-17 season. Love the pod. Not only informative, but very entertaining as well. Shout out to the At the Bridge pod from out here in the US. Well, shout out to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Willie. We all love you.
Thank you. Oh, come on.
You need to behave.
Come on, why does this happen when Chris isn't here?
Chris isn't here.
Yeah, every time.
Oh, dear man. Right, it's time to hit the news. Just the one piece of news from the weekend, because I really scoured for some. I didn't want to just say there was no news. Estevao Willian, he had an amazing season. The Brasileirão season ended yesterday. He won the best young player and the best attacker for 2024. He finished the season with the most goals and assists in the league, despite not starting for the first month and then missing another 2 months due to injury. He's broke Neymar's record for under 18 goals and assists in Brazil, 1.08 goals and assists per 90. I'm a little bit excited about him next year. Are you?
It's hard not to be in a way, isn't
good.
it? Because he just at such a young age, he's kind of like he's in uncharted territory now, especially if he's broken Neymar's records and stuff. So it's like, how high can he climb? I guess we'll see when he gets here.
Yeah. Berth, how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, he looks to be a bit of a superstar, doesn't he? Really, and with our attack, how exciting it is at the moment, just adding him is just going to be. Our attack's going to be unstoppable next couple of years. It's so promising to see, and I hope he doesn't have an injury. I hope his sort of growth doesn't get hindered or anything like that, because he's an absolute superstar. He really is.
Yeah, I'm hyped, but I'm going to bring the Chris here. I've got to be realistic. I can't lie. I'm a little bit feeling sorry for Noni Madueke because he's got talent. We all know Madueke's got talent. But he's now up against Estevao and Pedro Neto next season for a spot, and it's kind of I saw it on Twitter. It does give that classic Chelsea feel, like when we already had Drogba, and then we got Shevchenko for fun. That didn't work out, but whatever. Or we had obviously prime Frank Lampard, and then we tried to get Gerrard. It's kind of like we do see, and we're lucky. We've got depth, but I kind of think Madueke might be wondering if he's heading out not just to the B squad, but maybe the C squad. I mean, I do feel for him.
The thing is, though, with this team and how they are, with how sort of young they are, is in comparison to the players you just mentioned, I don't think their egos are quite as developed. So I think they have no pressure. They will always say, well, nothing phases them. So if a player comes in, they're not going to be sort of out of sorts. They're going to keep doing their thing. Whereas if, say, we saw it when Torres came in and Drogba's form fell off and Torres weren't quite the same when Drogba was playing. And, we've seen it so many times in that era. This era just feels a bit different because of how young they are and they're all fearless and they all think nothing phases them. And I think that's only a good thing. I think competition in this sort of environment can only develop these players, not hinder them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Right, we're going to head to Kingsmeadow Corner because Chelsea took on Brighton. They did. Brighton, they're looking a very good looking Brighton, I must admit, this year. They're certainly climbing up the Premier League WSL table. So yeah, we took them on at Kingsmeadow in the WSL. The full-time whistle blows as Chelsea women make it 9 for 9 in the WSL. It was a game that could be summed up very easily with the words, playing out from the back can be dangerous. Oh yes, Chelsea 4, Brighton 2. It felt close. It felt too bloody close, if I'm honest, for my liking. I've got some quick-fire winners and losers from this game because there was just so much going on and it was chaotic. But how do you generally feel about that performance in general, guys?
Well, they're a very good team, Brighton. I think they're a little bit underrated in terms of their strength. Of course, they've got Frank Kirby, of course, who's gone there now. They've got a couple players who are really sort of starting to come into their own. And Brighton are always so well run, just as a club in terms of the men's side. I was kind of expecting to see this eventually with the women's side as well. So they're kind of becoming a little bit of a dark horse. So maybe it's not the most traditional sort of like way of thinking about it, but I actually think it's a pretty good result. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but I don't think you're going to win. You're going to score, a million goals and win every game perfectly in a game where you win, in a season where you win the title. I think it's important to acknowledge those games where you're not going to play as well and you're going to struggle and you're still going to get the dub anyway.
Yeah.
And it's all about keeping the good vibes rolling at the moment.
That's the thing.
And they're still rolling.
So. I mean, that's why quick-fire winners, I had Chelsea. I mean, at the end of the day, despite significant pressure, we won 4-2. We extend that winning streak to 13 games. We've got a 5-point lead at the top. What more can you say? And I know if Chris was here, he would say, what did you say in the group chat? But I've got Hannah Hampton down as a winner, made several crucial saves, including a goal line stop and a one-on-one to stop Brighton that kept them at a hand, an arm's distance. Yes.
You know what, Mikey? I do want to say just a little bit.
You can.
If we ever did a show directly after a game, I think you'd be getting flamed.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes.
Look, she did make
you
a
know
mistake.
You know what though? I think Chris would as well. Some of the things I will bring this up later on.
Oh yeah.
I think Chris is the same as well, Mikey. So don't worry. It's not all on you.
Look, I'm not complaining, but she made a mistake, led to a goal. But her performance, she bounced back, and it was pivotal to the win. I can't not say that. But yeah, I was critical of her, and I was sat there going, she's been not appalling, but I just felt like just didn't do enough at first because of that mistake. Yeah, and then Chris pointed out that I like Musovic more because, Scandinavian thing. But hey, look, I was just saying what I saw, and she did impress in the end. So I was simply eating humble pie. I eat a lot of humble pie, I do on this show.
You are a baker.
I am.
Yeah, true. That is true.
I've got more winners, but Berth, what was your general thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the men's Chelsea team as well. This team just going forward is really, really scary. It weren't pretty at times, and I don't think it was a flawless performance. But this Brighton team, like I said, I think they're actually quite underrated. So yeah, we got the job done. It's another win. Momentum's building. I just at the minute think we're a bit unstoppable in the WSL. So
the other thing as well is I think Johanna Wrighting-Kaneryd is slowly making her name known for Chelsea Women's Player of the Season.
Yeah, she's just sign a new deal. Get her tied down to a new deal. She's too good.
She can't stop scoring, and she can't stop impacting games. So I don't know. She's going to be up there coming the end of the season.
Yeah. I mean, some other winners. I had Nushkin. Yeah, she was great in attack and defense. Aggie Beaver-Jones. I mean, Aggie Beaver-Jones just being Aggie Beaver-Jones. I mean, simple as that. And of course, a successful return from a long injury layoff, Niamh Charles. I was glad to see her come on. She added some energy. I think I did find negatives. I mean, one's my stupid comment where I said, Hannah Hampton might get dropped at this rate. Hey, I've got to admit when I'm wrong. I thought on that topic, though, Chelsea's defence looked uncharacteristically shaky for me. Brighton did create numerous chances. They scored twice. One was off our own making, playing out from the back. They did literally the same thing as well, Brighton did. But we did also struggle at times to handle the high press. We won, but we did struggle at times. And you have to pick out the negatives. And of course, on the topic of high pressing, our midfield control, it didn't dominate like it normally does. And it left that's why we had a chaotic game. It was a 4-2 in all the signs. It was end to end at times. I'd like it to be a bit more controlled when we take on, the bigger teams. I mean, if we took on a Barcelona side like the way we played Sunday, we'd have been absolutely destroyed. That's always the worry, So overall, we won 4-2, another win, and I believe we'll take on FC Twente midweek. So that's going to be that. I think does that close out the group? Can't remember if it closed out the group. Should know this.
I think it does.
But yeah, I think it does as well.
Yeah, I think it does. So, right, that's one review down. But of course, we have to head to winners and losers because we headed out on the road to 3 Point Lane to take on Spurs.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Spurs 3, Chelsea 4. You don't need commentary, listener. You've got the Cundy alarm because we kick off with the winners. As always, who have you got and how many have you got?
I've got 3. To be honest, I could have had more than 3, but I've got 3.
I got 3 and 3.
I'm 3 and 3 as well.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna let Berth. Berth, who's your first winner?
I've got to give it Enzo Fernandez, to be honest with you.
He's on mine. He is on my list. Why?
He's been absolutely phenomenal recently. And I don't know, I know he's had problems off the pitch. And it just makes you wonder if that was actually really bothering him. Because, he spoke about mental health and that earlier and things going on in people's lives. But that can genuinely affect you on the pitch. And that's something that we probably didn't know about. But you see it now. And maybe that's just a weight lifted off his shoulders. And all of a sudden, he's playing unbelievably. I thought his passing was amazing. His energy was really good. He looks a yard quicker than he used to. His goal, I think that goal that he scored is one of my favourite Chelsea goals because I went absolutely mental when he scored. Great finish on his weak foot. he's performing like what Conor Gallagher was last season, but with better passing at the moment. And at the minute, he is undroppable. And I know he gave him a lot of stick, but at the minute, you just can't drop him because he's so influential to our team. Brilliant.
Wow.
Yesterday, really, really good.
I think the reason he was on one of my winners list was because he's now adapting to that. Let's be honest, the Premier League is very non-stop chaos. It's very physical. It's very insane at times. And he's adapting, he's flourishing. He exploited Tottenham's let's just defend like it's a suggestion approach on the flanks. And he did some cool switches of play. I was really impressed. And then, of course, you've touched on it, just to rub the salt into the wounds. He seals that comeback with that strike. And, you had the away fans losing their minds. I was so... but it's a performance as relentless for me as the league itself. He's adapting, and I'll tell you what, he still won't call you back. So please keep not doing that. Ollie, if he's not a winner for you, anything to add on him?
Yeah, it's really nice to see him working hard for the team. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but he made the dummy run for Sancho's goal, and if he doesn't drag the defender away, Sancho doesn't get the space he gets to shoot. It's stuff like that, even for me, more so necessarily than the goals and assists, although they are really useful and stuff from midfield at the moment, and I can't praise him enough for that. It's stuff like that which shows that he's really fighting for this team. And that's what you want to see from him.
And I tell you what, I'll add on to that. I think it was the last couple of minutes, he made 2 unbelievable slide tackles. And I don't see him go to the ground too much, but they were both really, really good tackles. And for me, I've not seen that from him in the past year or so. That goes a long, long way. And you can tell he absolutely loves it here as well. Like, his passion. I mean, it's cliche, but he looks so proper Chelsea at the minute. It's crazy. Really, really good.
Who's a winner for you, Ollie? Who was your first winner?
I just mentioned him. It's Jadon Sancho.
He was on mine. I
arguably could have been man of the match, in my opinion, because he was absolutely electric the way he was dribbling from the left-hand side, just taking people on, nutmegging people, finding the right passes. Obviously scored a really good goal as well when he came inside. It seems to me like we've got, it was always a risk when we signed him. Who were we going to get? Were we going to get Dortmund Sancho? Were we going to get Man United Sancho? We got Dortmund Sancho, and it's really important to recognize that because, like I said, a lot of people really hesitant when he first came in. I think we all were to a certain degree to say, is this going to work? Is it not? Do we need him? It's working right now, and he seems appreciated. He seems happy, and he's performing. So it's hard not to sing his praises right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll go straight. Why was he a winner for you, Berth, before I go on to my second winner?
I think you could argue, like Ollie said, he should have been man of the match. I thought he looked on the ball. He is fantastic. You can't get near him. His goal, the technique for his goal was unbelievable. The pass to Caicedo when he won the penalty, amazing. And he looks like he's enjoying his football. And I think that's the main thing with Jadon Sancho. You could tell at Man U that he didn't fancy it. He didn't want to be there for whatever reason. But he looks to have that sharpness back. Like Enzo Fernandez, he looks like he's got that yard of pace back. And for me, it's going to be about 25 million that we're signing for. That's a bargain. That really is a bargain because he's still very young. So, unbelievable.
25 million for the Sancho we've got now. Oh, 100%. If it was the Man United Sancho, you're sort of going, oh, we've been a bit swindled there. But hey, it looks positive. It looks positive. My second winner, Enzo Maresca. Hello, on my list again. I mean, when your team goes 2-0 down inside 10 minutes, you're in for a bit of a battle, especially in a cauldron-like atmosphere away from home, especially in this game. This is the thing. Chelsea do not lose to Spurs. That's a universal law. You cannot lose to Spurs. It looks bad. It tastes bad. You don't want it. And the game went from a big match to a full-blown Godzilla versus King Kong level of chaos in just 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And then Enzo Maresca, the man with a plan, championship manager, just a championship manager. But his halftime team talk must have been like that chef's kiss. Because look at the team. His tactics, they're game-changing. They were. I mean, he made the bold move of subbing off Romeo Lavia, arguably one of our better players in that first half, and he brought on Malo Gusto, which I questioned. I was like, that takes some cojones, but is it going to work? He shifts Caicedo into midfield. That was a masterstroke. That move swung momentum entirely in our favour.
We got so much more control after he did that as well. I think the way he set us up in the first half wasn't necessarily bad. It just didn't have a lot of control, and he recognised that we needed more control to kind of push Spurs up the pitch and control the tempo a bit more. Really put them under pressure, and eventually we forced mistakes and got back into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Lavia? Do you think that he takes Lavia off if he doesn't get that elbow to the head?
I know. I saw the photo and I did wonder. I mean, that would he? Well, I can't comment if that was a concussion.
He did say.
I can't comment.
He did say that apparently he felt something in his hamstring labia. So
right, okay, so partial injury, but also tactical. Okay.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because I thought Lavia, you could argue, was probably the best player that we had in the first half.
Yeah, I mean that elbow it's not a nice. It's not nice
at all. No,
especially where he hits him, like sort of the side, but the back of the head as well. It's awful. Like, I mean, both teams probably should have had a red card in the game. I mean, maybe Caicedo's one is marginal, but that one is totally blatant. I can't believe it.
I know. I mean, with the Maresca thing, for me, honestly, the energy shifted with that sub. The team was clicking. Spurs had no answer whatsoever. They just did not. And you know what? I'm gonna play the alarm because it might
overreaction.
It might come across as an overreaction, but this match proved to me one thing loud and clear: Maresca is an elite coach because he's got everything right. Yeah, he's made mistakes, but he's got the big stuff right. This was a big game, and it was a tactical change that worked wonders. It won us the game. And for me, that's an elite coach doing that. Yeah, okay, I can't go, he's better than Guardiola. He's better than, I don't know.
He is at the moment.
But he's getting, yeah, you're right. But he's growing. And I'll tell you what, look, we did the deep dive on Maresca in the summer. I didn't think we'd be here talking about him that quick as elite. I'm just blown away. I'm bloody loving it, but it's madness. I'm happy. I am happy. Berth, who's your final winner then?
It's got to be Cole Palmer, isn't it?
Same.
It's on mine as well.
It's just got to be Cole Palmer. I've never seen someone score 2 penalties and me go, fuck me, they're really good penalties.
They were good penalties.
I will go on to how good he is in a sec, but the cheek of him in a London derby when 3-2 up to just dink the ball from the penalty to 6'7" Fraser Forster is absolutely
He has
ridiculous.
A family.
And the picture, I'm sure you've all seen the picture of Fraser Forster being sent the other way whilst a ball flies in.
I know.
Ridiculous. That boy is so cold. I mean,
I bet you at 6'7", he has never felt so small.
I know.
Yeah. The thing is with Cole Palmer, though, he's just really good. He's so good. And the first half, he weren't really in the game. Second half, he was flawless. He was so good, and he's our best player by a mile. I think other than maybe Salah at the moment, I think you could argue he's the best player in the league. Is that 11 goals now in the Prem?
I should have this in front of me, shouldn't I?
I mean, and let's be honest though, he's breaking record after record.
Yeah,
he's just some player. There's nothing I can say about
11.
him
Yes,
anymore.
11.
No, he's just so good. You can't get near him. His passing's amazing. His penalties are amazing. He turns up in big games. I don't care what anyone says. and he's just... I mean, his interviews probably need a bit of work, but he's so hard.
A little bit.
He is so
media
hard
nightmare.
He is like... I can't believe we got him for 40 million because now he's worth at least 150 million. He's so good.
I'll tell you why he was a winner for me. I mean, it's just quite simple. It's 2 goals, most, 3 shots on target, 3 accurate crosses, the most again, 4 shots, the most again, 4 successful take-ons, the most again, 4 chances created, 4 fouls won, 8 duels won. You already know what all 3 of them stats are. Most again. I mean, he's not only Chelsea's record was smashed for most Premier League goal involvements in a calendar year, 37. He has now scored the most penalties without missing in Premier League history, 12 in a row. One more than Yaya Toure, who never missed. I have to put him in the stat drop club. He might not have had the perfect first half. I have to, because it's right there. He's broke 2 records. I have to put him in. Amazing. Ollie, you can round it off for us. Why?
I mean, what more can you say? You know, history maker, record breaker, heartbreaker for your Spurs. You know, he's just absolutely he's on the top of his game at the moment and absolutely killing it. Another performance in a big game from him.
Yeah.
You know, we talk a lot about the penalties, and that's really important. Obviously, he's got to stay cool under pressure, and he even seems to stay cool under pressure in the moment, but also in the interviews afterwards, where he just sort of says, "Yeah, I tried it, and I thought that would happen, and it went in." So
that,
you know,
that honestly, that takes cojones. I never saw that coming. The Panenka I didn't see coming.
You know what though? You know
to
what
break the record as well is it's so ballsy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is, right, that no one's really talked about it, that footballing IQ, because he won the penalty, to know that I think it was Sarri who committed the foul, was coming, and to just get his body across and to then just start anticipating like barring him, it's so good from him, so clever that you think, wow, he's just if he genuinely had a brain, it'd be Lionel Messi, mate. Honestly, he's ridiculous. If
he was as good at science as he is as football, he'd be Einstein, mate. But wow. It's like you know, the other thing as well is I think it's actually really important to acknowledge that we wouldn't have won this game without Cole Palmer. You know, like not only did he score both penalties, he did win one of them. And the other one, sorry, not the other one. And the third goal for Enzo's goal, he was doing all the dribbling around it, edge of the box, you know, like sending players left and right, doing everything he could to get the ball through. Yeah, it takes a little deflection to get it through to Enzo, so it won't count as an assist, but it may as well do. You know, like he made that goal, he made one of the penalties, scored both of them. It's a big game, and we don't win it without him. So
100%. So. Losers.
Wait, I've got one more winner.
Oh, go for it. I want to hear it.
I had Sancho and I had Palmer. And my last one is mentality.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, 2-0 down within the first 15 minutes. You know, Cucurella slipping around all over the place. You know, I'm sure we'll talk about that. But, you know, but we didn't let our heads drop. Sancho gets a goal back early and we think, all right, we're still in this. To be honest, the second that Sancho scored, I knew we'd win the game. You know, we have so much confidence, and we're playing with so much confidence at the moment because we all have a lot of faith in the team and the talent that we've got, and the manager to get the most out of them as well. And especially in terms of mentality, you know, like you've got Palmer with, you know, just his calm and collected penalties and the way he performs in big games, but also someone like Colwill. I don't know who else saw this, but after the game and doing the man of the match interview with Palmer, and he said, you know, the standard for if we were in a title race, the standard isn't going 2-0 down within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I like that.
And I was like, that is mentality. That is a mentality monster right there. And yeah, it's all well and good to say that when you do win the game in the end. But you feel he really believes it as well. And so that's, you know, it's really important to know coming back from being 2-0 down for the first time since 2018. Right, you know, that can't be understated against Spurs as well. You know, really, really important. It feels like almost like a coming of age story for this young team beating Spurs in a game like that.
I fully agree. And losers. I have to go first because I've got a slight rant. It's not much of a rant, but I've got first loser is Jamie Carragher. And I've got reason.
I really agree with that.
The commentary bias was off the charts. If Cole Palmer was breaking records, Carragher was breaking records with absolute bias. It was incredible. He laughed when Cucurella slipped. I'm sorry, really? Come on. Your own former captain, Gerrard, didn't just do the exact same thing in a Chelsea game, did he? Come on. Selective memory there. Let's be a bit kinder. And then there's the criticism of the Caicedo tackle. Not the red card one. That's not what I'm on about, because I understand why that's a red card to some people. I totally get that. But it was the one where he just goes in and clears the ball. A Spurs player did literally the same thing, and he praised him. And that bugged me. That annoyed me a lot. And what I thought was even more irritating, because it was like a cherry on this perfect cake. It was so annoying. After the game, he comes out with the tired old line. I'm so bored of this one. And it was, this Chelsea team's no underdog story. It's a team that has spent 1.2 billion. Can we just retire that narrative already? It wasn't 1.2 billion. We've already done I think it was like 890 something.
Yeah, it's actually 2.5 billion now, Jamie. Come on.
Oh, is it really? Look. I'll be real. I'm bored of this. And yes, money was spent. But newsflash, it doesn't buy wins. or apparently fair commentary. It doesn't buy wins. We saw that. It doesn't buy wins. You can spend all the money in the world. It doesn't buy you a win. And we're starting to get, no one wants to say we're the underdogs, but I'm just saying, I'm sick of the biased commentary. And when you've got Gary Neville on there as well, you know what you're getting. I think I only ever see Hasselbank on there, if I'm honest. I only ever see him as a ex-Chelsea player on the panel. And I wish we had more ex-Chelsea players within the Sky studio.
To be fair, they get away with it because Paul Merson's a Chelsea fan.
That is true.
Put him in there.
That is true.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you know.
Fair, you know
Big
what?
Merce.
He
We
was
like
there.
Merce.
He was great when he was sat there and he was saying that at the half time because Chelsea going to win this. And I'm like, maybe he was right. Bloody right.
Yeah, he was spot on.
I'll tell you what. Please segue that into my next loser. Please segue that into my next loser, please.
Go on.
So he's the second time he's appeared on my losers list this year, and that's Chris Adams of At the Bridge Pod. When we was 2-0 down, a little inside information for all the listeners here. Chris in our group chat put, "We're out of this game."
Yeah,
over.
he did.
And someone who is on this podcast tonight liked that message.
Yes,
and
I
I said straight away, "No, we're not. We're still in this game."
Yeah.
Now, I don't like to
Sancho
say.
scored about 5 minutes later.
I don't like to say I told you so, but I knew, and I've watched football numerous times, especially the Spurs team and our team as well, to know that they're 2-0 up. It's Spurs. Ange plays a high line. We're unbelievable going forward. I knew we were still in this game. And lo and behold, what happens? We win this game.
Yeah, that comment, that line, it sort of went from Chris saying, let me pull it up. Berth goes, "We're still in this game." And then Chris goes, "No, we're not. I did 100% that. I did." And then I put, "For fuck's sake, Berth is right. Accept the L, Chris. Both of us have been on board."
Yeah. You know what? Chris isn't here to defend himself, but so I'm not going to go in too hard on him. But it's one of those, isn't it? Sometimes you can. Sometimes I don't know what it is with football. Occasionally, you see through all the mist and all the clouds and all the context, and you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and Berth's got ball knowledge coming out of his ears, so we should.
Honestly, when people go, "Oh, you should do a live stream," you should commentate the game. I would show that I know even less than you think I know. I can't take that risk.
Yeah,
Ollie,
I'd be cancelled.
Ollie, who was your first loser from this game?
First loser for me was the first 15 minutes specifically.
Fair enough.
Because I just after that we kind of wrangled it around and we got where we were going, but Spurs came out of the traps really, really fast and pressed us really high, and we were really struggling to deal with it. Badiashile was really struggling to deal with it, being on the wrong side, on the right-hand side. Cucurella, slipping over. He was more like Cinderella, except he wasn't
right, Peter.
Nice, Ali. I like that.
Thank you.
Someone went to the Peter Drury school.
Needed a fairy godmother to win that game, didn't we? But anyway, but first 15 was, by all intents and purposes, not good enough in any way from anyone in terms of the midfield, in terms of the defense. The attack hadn't really even gotten into the game yet. We need to not have another 15 minutes like that this season, because I don't think a game that's not against a team like Spurs, like Berth says, who's Ange playing a high line and they're defensively really suspect and all of that. If against a serious team, you go to 2-0 down, within the first 10 minutes, you're really going to struggle to bring that round to even a draw. We were lucky to win in an effect because of that, because we were playing Spurs, but we can't let that happen again.
I agree. My second loser is the Spurs fans throwing trash on the pitch. I said in the Discord I'd bring it as a loser. From minute 1 to minute 90, it was like Spurs fans thought they were at a recycling drive, because, I mean, bottles, paper, cardboard, all from that tifo, so that won't be happening
they threw
anytime.
bottles, wasn't it?
Anything they could grab, they launched at Chelsea players taking throws or corners. And look, let's be honest, the stewards were as effective as Spurs defence. And the officials didn't blink. I know you could argue they're not paid enough, probably. And I don't know if they're volunteers either, so I could understand. But let's be clear. This isn't just bad sportsmanship. It was dangerous. I don't want to sound like Sir Alex Ferguson. I'm being serious. If one of those actually hit a player, I mean the bottles more likely, it could have caused an actual injury. And frankly, if you're caught throwing anything onto the pitch that's not a wayward Timo Werner shot that's gone into the crowd, you should be handed a stadium ban. No excuses. I found it frustrating. I found it disgusting, and it shouldn't happen because it's dangerous. I would say the same if we were doing it at Stamford Bridge to Spurs players. Just don't stop that.
I just don't get it. Why are you trashing your own stadium?
Yeah, it's so frustrating. It's so.
I would almost understand it if they were at our ground, but it's their brand new stadium. They're just chucking stuff all over. Your staff have to go and clean that up. It's not us.
Berth, who's your second loser?
I mean, this loser's been on my losers list about 8 times already this season, and that's VAR. I thought, actually, to be fair to Anthony Taylor, I actually thought he had a good game. Weren't a bad game.
Rare win.
For a game against us, yeah, I agree.
VAR, though.
Jared Gillett.
Look.
The best a man can get.
Caicedo's was a red card. I think Caicedo's was a red card.
No.
He should have been sent off. It was a red card.
No.
Kulusevski's was an obvious red card. How neither of them have been overturned, I have absolutely no idea. Caicedo's gone shin high. They said excessive force. They needed to be excessive force. I'm sorry. Someone goes in that high, it's a red card straight away. And Kulusevski's, he said it was an accident. I'm sorry. Anyone who's played football, and Chris isn't here, but he'll back me up. You cannot run with your arm that high in the air. It's just that's on purpose. He knew exactly what he was doing. It's obviously cut Lavia's
Nobody
head.
Runs like that.
He knew Lavia was there because he's running straight at him. And I'm sorry, that's a straight red. And how each week they keep coming up with these stupid excuses that just don't make any sense and no logical reasoning behind it. I'm sick of it. I genuinely would be happier if they just fucked VAR off. I'm getting, honestly, so tired of it. Just sack it off. And even Jamie Carragher, my kid knows on your losers list, but even he said they're both reds. Everyone said they're both reds. How can you not see they're both reds?
It was some interesting commentary from Jamie before the half time. It was like, I want to go on a night out, see what excessive force. It was like, what does that mean? What are you saying? I was okay. Ollie, who's your second loser?
My second loser was attacking chances. Because it actually, in both sense of the word, because in the second half, we weren't perfect. We were much better. But there was we had a really good sustained period of time where we created loads of attacking chances and we just couldn't finish them. And at the same time, we gave up something like 6 big chances to Spurs on the day. So it's just in terms of just attacking chances all over the pitch. We're not limiting them enough at one end. We're not making enough of the ones we make at the other. Just again against a more serious team in a real game. we might be punished for that. But we weren't. But yeah, just something to work on.
Yeah, that know what? That is a totally good point. So my final loser is you're on there again. The Spurs fans in general. Yep, you're getting a double because imagine being a Tottenham fan, listener. I know. Just hear me out. Imagine being a Tottenham fan. You rush back your 2 best centre backs like it's some kind of Champions League final. You go 2-0 up. Oh, hello, we're cooking. And then you spend 90 minutes acting like WWE villains to all the Chelsea players, and then you blow the lead. Oh, and then to top it off, you lose both your centre backs to injury. I mean, I'd feel bad for them if their fans didn't make it so easy not to during that game.
No, I don't feel bad for them.
Yeah, I couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't give a fuck.
Berth, final loser from you.
My final loser is Ange Postecoglou because it's just who we are, mate. It's just who we are.
Oh, what about you, Ollie? Oh, go on, Chris.
No, it's just they're just bottle jobs in it. And I said it last year when we played and we beat them 4-1 at their ground. I thought he was a bit of a fraud then for playing such a hard line with 9 men. He's 2-0 up this game and they bottled it. I'm sorry. If Spurs want to win something, he's not the man to win you something. And I don't think any manager is, but he certainly isn't. You'd have better off sticking with Conte, better off sticking with Mourinho. But no, they want to play a certain way. And Carragher, again, we'll go back to Jamie Carragher. He said this ridiculous analogy of you won't go out in when it's raining in shorts. And it was so, it actually made a lot of sense.
Yeah, he's right.
It made so much sense. It made so much sense. And Ange's going to has been found out. And I saw it coming last year. And look, you can say, oh yeah, well he says mate a lot, so he's a good guy. No, he's a bit of a knobhead. He's a bit of a knobhead, and he's been found
I
out.
like him,
and
but
Spurs deserve it for sticking by him because he's a bottle job and they're a bottle job. So yeah.
bloody hell. Ollie, who's your final loser?
It's a funny thing you guys mentioned this because my final loser is Tottenham.
Hey!
Has anyone seen Tottenham? Has anyone seen Ange Postecoglou, Dominic Solanke, Kulusevski, Romero, Jamie O'Hara, Chicken Ball FC, more like Chicken Drumstick? Both centre backs brought back just to get injured. 2-0 up. You bottled it. This is the history of the Tottenham. This is who they are. And people say, like, I've seen people talking on Twitter and stuff afterwards, like actually starting to like try and analyze this, going, why did this happen? Like, what has gone wrong for this to happen again? And what I'm telling you is Spurs have always been this way, and it's the way that they run the club from the top down, from the very top to the bottom. There is a mentality that permeates that whole club, which just lends to them just throwing it away, and they always do it, and they always will, and long may it continue.
Yeah, I think when I think of Spurs, I do. I was just going back through the history of it. Yeah, I remember the game so well. The one that stung the most when we were at Spurs was when it was 5-3. And that was way back in 2015. I remember it because it was New Year's Day. And I remember absolutely being fucked off that we lost that game. 5-3. That's why this game means so much to the Chelsea fans. And Maresca got it. And his celebration at the end meant he got it. He got what it was like to be a proper Chelsea manager. He got it. And I loved that. I bloody loved it. Right, emojis.
Can I just ask a just genuine, serious question? We'll say it again and ask it again. Are we in a title race?
Yes, we have to be. We're second. 4 points behind Liverpool. Game in hand. I know. But
don't know what you're talking about. We're a conference league team with 250 players and a championship manager. No, don't pay any attention to us.
At the end of the day, we're 2 points above Arsenal. We are 4 points above City. I say we're in it. Even if Maresca doesn't want to say it, I think we're in it. We're like it or not.
We're not in it until we're in it, in my opinion, and we're not in it.
All right.
Ali, respectfully, shut up. Because we are. The thing is, defensively, we're not great, and I think the keeper's going to let us down. But
yes,
I think what actually I think is for me, I think Maresca's brilliant, doing really well. I think going forward, I think we can outscore anyone.
Yeah,
I think that's what will get us near the top this season.
So,
can I just really quick on that? The only reason I actually do think we're not is because I don't think the crop of players who we have at the moment have the experience in pushing for a title for a whole seation.
Yeah,
next season,
I get it.
And if we do that this season, because it has to happen at some point, in my opinion, if we do it next season, if we do it this season, next season we need to be in the title race.
Yeah. Right. Emoji review. I'm going with binoculars. Why? Because has anybody seen Spurs?
Nice.
I prepped that.
Nice.
Frozen face emoji. Easy.
Oh, lovely.
I've just gone for the laughing emoji because I can't have to laugh at Spurs, to be honest with you.
It's happened again. How has it happened again?
I know. Right, so time to hit Lion of the Week. Lions from the weekend. Chris had Pedro Neto, so he's ducked. I had Jackson. Ollie, you had Jackson. The wheel knew. They had Palmer. The wheel wins. Well played.
Fair enough.
The actual Lion of the Week. Would it be Cole Palmer? Would it be Enzo?
Yeah, I think you have to give it Palmer personally, but I don't know. Do you guys feel differently?
Yeah, you got to give it Palmer.
Yeah,
I think you got to give it Palmer.
Fair play. So, it's Lion of the midweek time because Chelsea are jetting off to Kazakhstan to face FC Astana in the Conference League. And listeners, you've spoken. You wanted a mini preview of upcoming games. You said nothing too heavy, just a little appetizer. You want to, have a little taster. And we do try to aim to deliver on this show. So here's what we got. Here's a quick rundown. Astana, a team with a Premier League season that wrapped up on the 10th of November, meaning they've had the luxury of kicking back and focusing solely on the European campaign. They're sitting 23rd in the overall group standings. 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses. Not setting Europe alight, but hey, you never know. Strange things have happened. So the logistics of this game. Did you know it's kicking off at 3:30 p.m?
Yeah, I found that out today.
What?
And I'm absolutely fuming.
I know why. I did my research. Why? Because over in Astana, it will be 8:30 p.m. local time. Nobody wants to be watching football at 2 a.m. local time now. Come on. So obviously, if it was 8
Could
o'clock,
they really not? Could they not find a time that worked for both? Could they really not?
3:30 p.m. is 8:30 local time. So if you add another 2 hours to it, it's 10:30 kickoff.
Well, okay, make it an hour then. Do it 4:30. At least that's a bit more reasonable.
9:30 kickoff.
Yeah,
Look, nobody wants to be watching football at 2 a.m. local time. Shout out to the Chelsea players though. They're going to deal with an 8-hour flight minimum. Hope you packed some good snacks and a Netflix series because that's a long flight. But hey, look, a bit of banter. Chelsea's B squad can't afford to snooze through this one, you know. So
Hey.
Lions. I don't know who's going to play this because that's a bloody long trip.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone who started yesterday is going to be even there.
I'm going to go for Tyreek George.
Well, that's a good shout. I'm going to give it to I'm going to go for a slightly more rogue one as well. I'm going to go with Cesare Casadei.
Oh.
You mean the player that's been sent off in the last game?
Yeah, he's suspended.
Oh, is he? Fuck.
That ain't happening.
I'll pick someone else.
Professional as always. Professional as always, Ollie.
Well, shut up. I'll go with Felix.
I like that. I was going to go in Kunku, but I'm going to go Dewsbury Hall. It's one of these games. He's got to be good. He's got to. Please.
Yeah, you know what? The Kazakhstan league might be his level.
Yeah. We'll. I swear, if you pick Cole Palmer, you've not performed. Oh, well, that's not happening. It's Enzo. That's not happening. Will.
No, he won't play.
He won't play.
Go on, keep spinning while we shoot shit for a minute.
Yeah, he's definitely not playing. It's just not going to happen.
I don't really know what to expect from this kind of game.
Renato Vega.
Nice.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
He'll probably play. I don't know what to expect from this game, to be honest with you, because obviously we should be winning. Our B squad's more than good enough to win, but the long flight, I don't know. Like, you never know. It's just a weird one, isn't it? Like it's a weird time. Players maybe not quite as used to it. Hostile atmosphere. There'll be a few things going against us. Don't get me wrong. We'll have more than enough to win, and we should win. But it might be harder than we think.
Yeah, I fully agree. Right, so Christmas questions. I've got one saved from Thursday, which we didn't do because I thought save it for Monday. And then Chris ducked it because his is full of Taylor Swift. So Josh has asked, what are your Spotify Wraps looking like? I'll just pull mine up. I don't use Spotify. I use YouTube Music because I'm just little different, and premium is cheap. It's cheaper, isn't it?
So. I do use Spotify, so
that's all. That's
cheap.
Nice.
That's what you are.
That's nice. No, it's good for you. Good for you.
Ali, me and you are going to fall out in a minute.
Right, my top 5 artists. Everyone's expecting rock. It's got some. So top 5, I had Wiz Khalifa, Dayseeker, Lil Wayne, Linkin Park, and Power Waves. So there you go. I do listen to a lot of rock music. I do, but that's what captured my ear. Those 5. But Berth, who have you got? Chris had Taylor Swift.
I've got a bit of a wild selection, really. I've got Dave, the rapper.
Oh, okay. It's not just a random guy.
No. I've got Oasis.
Oh,
nice.
Classic. Eminem, again, classic.
Yeah.
Got a house DJ called Patrick Tappin.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I've also got Royal Blood.
Your music tastes have given me whiplash.
Yeah.
Oh,
love it. I've got my top 5 artists are Luke Christopher, then Dominic Fike, Remy Wolf, Mahalia, and Arctic Monkeys.
Nice.
Right. What era Arctic Monkeys though, Ollie? Sorry to.
Specific. My favorite album is AM.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll let you off, but only just
the ones before that are good as well. The ones before that are
the ones before that are good. Shut up, mate. Sure.
Right.
They're the best ones.
Moving to the next one. Nathan's asked, do you think Enzo Maresca has found his form and deserves... Oh, he said Enzo. Now, I wonder if that's Enzo Maresca or Fernandes.
I think he means Fernandes.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think both of them have found their form.
Yeah.
Do they deserve more respect after the run they've had? He's had. Yeah. I'd say both do. Whichever. I know it's probably Fernandes, but yeah, they both do.
I would say so.
I think Fernandes, you've got to give him credit because a lot of people write him off. We all write him off, but he's been fantastic. So you've got to give him credit where credit's due.
That a divorce can change your life.
Well,
Agreed, Ollie. Agreed.
I ate the other Greg, said Jackson stopping Enzo taking his shirt off to prevent a yellow is gold.
That was
I
so
saw
funny.
that. Bloody love that.
How is Jackson the voice of reason? What happened?
Yeah, crazy.
A lot of people mentioned about the the Enzo Jackson shirt pull. I was, you know what? We'll finish with Byron. Surely Madueke stays bench. Sancho, Neto, and Felix all performing at a much higher standard.
I think him and Neto are probably interchangeable. I don't think Neto had his best game. I think Madueke. I think Neto probably is close to rival. I think Felix is probably third out of those three. But Madueke and Neto are pretty at a similar level at the moment. So
I think it's good problems to have, isn't it? We've got good strength in depth.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of games this season. A lot of these players will be playing games, whether it's better or worse opposition is up to them and how they operate in matches and on the training ground.
Okay, wrapping up today's show, the end of the show, game, guess the player by their career path. Oh, and there's a theme today. I've been a bit kinder because otherwise you'll be like, I don't fucking know who you're saying about. I don't know who these players are. So the theme is every single one of these players has been officially made captain of a Premier League team once in their career. And by captain, I mean that they were named the official main club captain at the start of a season. So
they didn't just get the armband for a random.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I like having a theme to these players. I like it.
An example would be Reece James would qualify, but Moises Caicedo would not, despite Caicedo having
more games as captain.
Yeah, essentially. So first player started their career at Cannes. Before making a move to AC Milan. They then made a move to Arsenal.
Ooh.
And then joined Juventus.
Oh, no, I don't think it's right. I'll go for it. I don't think it's right, though. I don't think it's not Patrick Vieira, is it?
It's Patrick Vieira.
Oh, yes,
well done. Because the next two clubs, Inter Milan and Manchester City, captain, of course, at Arsenal. Moving to the second player. Started their career at Saint Etienne B. Before making a move, you'll never guess. Made a move to Saint Etienne.
Wow.
You know what? I might go in right now.
Go on. Have a go, Beth. Have a go.
Is it Aubameyang?
No, and you're going to hate yourself.
Really good guess.
You will hate yourself now. Ollie, you're in. Yeah, burst phrase now.
On though.
He moved from Saint Etienne to Chelsea, which I could. Yeah, it was not quite Aubameyang.
I think I know it is.
He then moved to Saint Etienne on loan.
I know it is.
Before moving to Stoke City on loan.
Ollie, mate, come on, you have to get this. I know exactly who it is.
He then moved to Everton on loan. Before making a move to West Ham United.
Ollie, come on.
Is it Victor Moses?
Oh my word. Oh, he's bottled it. But Berth, you're back in. I doubt you'll get the next club. He went on loan to Al Arabar. I don't know who they are. I'm sorry. I don't.
Oh, actually, I don't know. I thought he was still. Oh, now you said that. I thought he was still at West Ham. I thought it was Kurt Zouma.
It is indeed Kurt Zouma, but he has recently gone on loan to Saudi Premier League.
Do you know what? I actually had no clue he came from Saint Etienne. No clue.
I didn't realise it.
Really?
I thought he was still at West Ham. I wonder why he weren't playing there.
Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. In the Saudi Pro League, he captained West Ham. West Ham. Ollie,
I swear, in the odd, I know it's not part of the criteria, but in the odd game, he did captain us as well.
Did he?
In like one-off game here and there, yeah.
Tell
me if you remember that, listeners, in the Discord.
Please. I was just looking at the players that are currently playing with Kurt Zouma in Saudi Pro League in that squad, in the Al Arabar team. You've got Johan Berg Goodmanson. I was like, oh, okay. Jean-Marc Seri, Christian Tello, and then an English player called Brad Young.
I'll tell you what, football manager's dream that is. Manager's dream that is.
Right,
get the bag. Kurt,
final player. Can Berth get the clean sweep? So this
is my game, by the way. This is my new. This is my game.
The problem is Berth's ball knowledge is outrageous.
Well, this player started their career at Luton Town before moving.
I know it.
Before moving to Arsenal. They then went on loan to Nottingham Forest. And then on another loan to Crystal Palace, before another loan to Reading. They then left Arsenal and secured a move to Birmingham City.
But if you've got to know this.
They then moved to West Ham United. And then made a move to Stoke City.
Can you tell us which club he was captain at?
West Ham.
West Ham.
He then moved to Brighton and Hove Albion on a season-long loan, before moving permanently to Brighton and Hove Albion. Then moved...
Sorry, what? Can you name the teams again, just so...
Luton, Arsenal, Forest on loan, Palace on loan, Reading on loan, Birmingham City, West Ham United, Stoke City, Brighton on loan, Brighton permanently, Leicester City, and then they ended their career at MK Dons. 386 appearances, 14 goals. This is the Wikipedia stats, so they could be very bloody wrong. Defender. English defender.
Is it Julian Diggs?
It is not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. English defender.
English defender.
Can you give us the years that are back there or not?
Yeah, I can do. I don't see why not. Luton, 96-97. Arsenal, 97-03. And then the loans were 2000, 2001, 2002. Blues, he was at there 03-07. West Ham, 07-11. Stoke, 11-13. Brighton, 13-14.
Oh, is it? Is it Matthew Upson?
It is indeed. It's a clean sweep, Berth.
The manager now, isn't he?
Is he?
Is he?
I think he might be.
Not what it says here. It just
Cheers
says
for turning up, Ollie.
it just says Upson has appeared as a football pundit for BBC's Match of the Day. That's what it says.
I didn't think he was a manager.
No, he's not. No, he's not. I'm thinking of something.
He's making stuff up now. All right, listeners, we are at the end of another episode. So, of course, thank you as always for tuning in. And before we go, we're proud to remind you about our partnership with Head in the Game, mental health charity using football to support wellbeing in the community. It's a cause that we're passionate about, and we encourage you to always check them out at headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well. Treat yourself well. We'll be back later on in the week with our winners and losers from Chelsea and FC Astana. That's going to be... I'm not taking the flight, so I don't need to worry about jet lag, but bloody hell, that's going to be a game. 3:30. I'll be I've just finished work and we kick off. So there's no... Don't think, will you watch it live? I've got no hope.
I'll still be at work. Still be at work.
I'll have to watch the extended highlights.
I'll probably watch it. I can't lie. I'll probably watch it.
Oh, well. That's what happens when we are playing on literally nearly the other side of the world. So till next time, listener, that is us signing off.
You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.